We are going through this countdown leading up to the Seahawks' first game, which is, of course, just 3 weeks away, not even now. And so today we are on to
number 15.
All right, the number 15 most intriguing Seahawk is Demarcus Lawrence. We haven't seen him yet in the preseason because he's an older player, veteran player. Not a huge surprise. By all accounts, a tremendous leader. And I think we've seen some of that of him on the sidelines during games. The leadership element, I have zero questions about whatsoever. Byron Murphy was talking about it.
D-Law, special guy, man. He's crazy. He's wired different. He's wired completely different. But, man, I feel like a guy like that in our room, that's what we need. You know, he's a guy, he's a leader. You know, he keep us going. You know, he always positive. You know, and he always, you know, putting this, he's just always leading us in the right direction, you know. He's being that vet, that savvy vet he is, you know, 12 years in the game.
I like that. He's always leading us in the right direction. It's a really nice way of saying it from Byron Murphy. And I think they did need some of that. They did need one of those adults in the room with the old man's strength, and he certainly has that. We watched him as he picked up Abe Lucas and moved him back about 4 yards. Abe talked about it himself.
He loves a beast. He's always been a beast. And, you know, when we went out and acquired him, I was stoked. I was really, really excited about it because I knew that I was going to be going against him and competing against him, and it was only going to make me better. And he, in my mind, is one of the most complete defensive ends in the NFL, if not the most complete. Like, he stops the run. He knows how to read it, and he's relentless, and he has an arsenal of just pass rush moves dialed in. So, I mean, I'm excited that I get to compete against him every day.
Yeah, so all of those things are huge for the team, right? And I love the signing. I'm excited about Demarcus Lawrence. And when you watch him out there in practice, he certainly stood out. And I know he can set the edge. I know he can stop the run. I love it. Can he be a pass rusher at this stage in his career that can actually get to the quarterback, that can affect the game, that can open things up for the other guys around him? And I just don't know yet. I mean, that's why he's intriguing to me, because if he can do all those things, then you don't need to go trade for Trey Hendrickson. Not that it would be a bad thing, but it kind of minimizes the importance of another pass rusher.
Yep.
You know, he was opposite Micah Parsons for all those years. Parsons is getting a lot of sacks. Was some of that because of the attention paid to Demarcus Lawrence? I don't know. I'm excited to find out whether or not he can help Boye Mafe and Derek Hall and the other guys in this defense, get to the quarterback on money downs where you got to be able to do that.
We have seen veteran players come in here kind of at the end of it. Terrell Owens, like we Seahawks have certainly through Pete's years, and you bring in veteran guys to kind of see what they've got left in the tank. You know, they signed some of those guys to deals, you know, somewhat similar to Lawrence's, which is really kind of a one-year deal. I think him and Cooper Kupp probably very similar in this conversation of established veteran players, so well respected by their opponents because their opponents know these guys, when healthy, are really good players. I would say just out at practice, you know, watching it for the last 3.5 weeks, all the other eyewitnesses out there, I've not heard one of them any murmur about Demarcus Lawrence slowing down. If anything, it's like, sheesh. You know, he's gotten some veteran days, as he should. They want to make sure they get him to the starting line as healthy and feeling as good as possible. But he looks like, I don't know, kind of a Dwayne Brown comp, again, to another veteran player that they traded for him. But when he came, you're like, yeah, that dude's still got football in him. Lawrence still got football in him.
I mean, when
Cooper?
we watched him take Abe Lucas and drive him back and up into the air, it was like, oh, my Lord.
Yes.
This dude is strong.
Yes.
Look,
Remarkably strong. And Brady has said this multiple times on the show, and it, you know, kind of quoting other players and Mike McDonald, like, this dude just looks like a giant. I mean, he's 255 pounds. He plays like he's 285 pounds, to DJ's point about some of these defensive linemen and some of the size. He's not one that, he's kind of Frank Clark-ish in that way. Frank was a powerful, powerful guy. You didn't have to be 300 pounds to bring that kind of power, and Lawrence is in a similar vein.
Well, and as we know, veteran players like him who had some moments, but maybe had a little bit of a downturn in their career, have sparkled at times under Mike Macdonald's system. We saw it with Clowney. We saw it with Kyle Van Noy. Like, it's not unheard of for a guy like Demarcus Lawrence to get into this scheme, and it just unlocks his abilities again and rejuvenates him. So for all of those reasons, plus the leadership, plus he's just cool. Like, he got to be on this list. And so number 15, most intriguing Seahawk for me is Demarcus Lawrence.
Number 14.
All right, so admittedly, this player could probably be a little higher. This one, I think when I wrote it a week or two ago, it felt right, but after watching 2 games, it maybe feels a little bit low. But number 14 is Gray Zabel. And yeah, he's their first round pick. He is the guy you're counting on to come in and really change what's happening with the offensive line. And quite frankly, through 2 games, he looks like he's going to be able to do that. Here is his offensive coordinator and my new man crush, Clint Kubiak.
You see, as a rookie, he's ready for the moment. It's not too big for him. He belongs out there. He's got a long way to go, but I love the mentality, love the makeup, and I think that's John Snyder drafting a guy with a big heart that loves to work, and that comes from his work habits, and it comes from his mom and dad, the way he's raised.
Yeah, and we got a sense of that when we talked to him. Obviously, Brock, we've done it a couple of times, and you feel that sort of down-home, authentic, hard-working kind of a guy. That's all great, but you got to go out there and actually perform, and making the jump from a smaller school to, the toughest competition in the world is not easy. And at least through the first couple games of the preseason, it looks like he's handling it incredibly well. I don't know whether he's going to be Steve Hutchinson. I mean, that's a lot to ask of anybody. It's a Hall of Famer. But can he be somebody that is a focal point of the offense and of the offensive line? If he can, then this is a home run pick from John Schneider and a complete game changer for the Seahawks' ability to do what they want to do. Brian Baldinger, very impressed early.
This is exactly what we saw at the Senior Bowl this year. The exact same thing. This is a player. Here he is on the slide away, right? He just wires his guys up. I mean, he saw some good players last night. Adam Butler is a good player, real good player. But he did a great job last night. It was fun to watch him. They're better. They're better up front with Gray Zabel. Everybody should get a Zabel jersey. Start buying them now. They're going to fly off the shelves. This guy is going to be in the breakdown every week. I can tell it already.
He's going to be in the breakdown every week. Are we going to get to talk to Baldy this week? I hope we can.
Hope so.
I really enjoy how much he's been excited about the whole line in general, but specifically Gray Zabel. And that's just an enormous, enormous, important thing for these Seahawks.
I'm a little scared.
Why?
Because literally, as you were talking initially, I was like, I had about 3 different thoughts in my head.
And then I said them.
And then you said every single one of them, down to Steve Hutchinson. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, click on that one. Okay, click on that one. Okay, good. He's not going to get to he just got to Hutchinson.
I know. Sorry,
Holy
my bad.
Smokes.
Yeah. What do you think? I just come up with this stuff off the cuff? I'm doing a lot of prep on these guys. All right, I'll give you one other thing about Gray Zabel. In addition to all of the on-field stuff is the off-field personality and what he brings to that locker room, what he brings to the offensive line room. Brock, you've always said that, personality of a team tends to stem from the offensive line room. And whether it's him talking about, was it Keystone Lights or Coors Lights, whatever it is he likes to drink, Busch Lights. That's what it was, Busch Lights, to chugging Gatorade with Charles Cross.
Yep, just trying to show some of the Midwest traditions to Charles here as we start to grow closer and get to know each other a little bit more.
When you shotgun Gatorade, does color matter? Like the color of the Gatorade matter?
No, not at all.
Not at all? You don't have a preference or a choice when you're chugging Gatorade?
Not really. I mean, I'm a huge lemon lime guy. That or Glacier Freeze are my 2 go-to.
So, first of all, those things actually, that answer kind of bothered me right at the end. Lemon lime? People still prefer yellow Gatorade?
Yes.
Crazy to me.
You know what I had last
With all
you know what they're making now?
No.
Mashups.
What is it?
A mashup.
A mashup?
mashups
of Gatorade flavors. Like they're
Yes.
mixing two together.
They're pretty good.
Really? Is it like getting a graveyard at a bowling alley or something?
It's pretty good, Salt. It's pretty good.
I don't know, man. First of all, he calls Gatorades by their name rather than by their color, which I think is weird. But also, like, blue Gatorade is really a superior flavor at this
Agreed.
point. Like, all the various blues are a
I
lot
think he was
better
just trying
than
to be
lemon
nice to
lime.
you, Salt. Like North Dakota nice right there.
Okay.
Well, I think the glacial one he mentioned is the blue one.
No, I think that's a
No,
clear,
no,
like
that's
the
a
white,
clear,
clear to
Maura.
white.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maura, that's a clear white.
I think
bet.
that's that like cherry flavor, clear white. In any event, he's going to be pretty important.
He is. And I can't help because in 2001, I was around Steve Hutchinson as a rookie. I've told many of those stories of him in the locker room. And now their personality is a little different. Hutch was a little more New York Times crossword puzzle guy, a little more grumpy kind of guy. And Tobeck and Walter Jones were so good for him. Gray Zabel has got a little more of that just, I don't want to say naivete, but just a North Dakota kind of nice.
Could he? Never mind.
And yet, I see exactly in their game the exact same ease of movement. In listening to Baldy and most all of these breakdowns, and he talks about wiring up and slide protection, when he talks about the ease to the second level, when you've heard people and all the little clips shown over the weekend of him in this run game, Steve Hutchinson was just unique, Salk. You'd watch him run the day after the game. We had to do these 100-yard gassers. And while I am looking like, who was the old actor? Steve. Why do I look like Holmgren said this to me when I was trying to run, and it was not a compliment. I watched Steve Hutchinson run, and he just glides. He just glides. Him and Walter Jones, just like you could just simply watch the 100-yard little flush runs that we would do the day after the game, and you would say, "Oh, there's your Hall of Famers." Just look at the ease of movement of those two guys. Versus everybody else feels a little bit painful to try to carry around those three, and it just hurts. Their bodies hurt, and Steve was such a good athlete. It never felt like his body hurts. Gray Zabel is such an elite athlete. It just looks like, yeah, man, this is the ease of movement that comes with playing the game the way I play it.
Number 13.
All right, number 13 is tight end A.J. Barner. Number 13 is tight end A.J. Barner for a couple of
Remember when
reasons.
you were younger, Salk, and you could do number 20 was, 19, 18.
Ooh, could I still do that? Yeah, probably
No
not.
chance.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think I
no
have that
chance.
in me anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's probably not my jam. He's intriguing for a few reasons, though. One, played really well last year, and by all accounts, he's starting to grow into it a little bit, right? I mean, he progressed as the year went on, so much so that by the end of the year, I thought he looked really good. He has been tremendous in camp, tremendous in the preseason games. He is a phenomenal combination of ability to block and an ability to, I think in this offense especially, to do all the things they want a tight end to do. He's also intriguing because he just seems like an interesting guy. Like, we've had him on. He's funny. He's entertaining. He's thoughtful about what he has to say. It seems like he does a very good job of fitting in with everybody. And I mean that in a really positive way, not like he's a chameleon, more just like, oh, you need me in the offensive line room because I'm kind of an offensive lineman? I can do that. You need me in the wide receiver room because I'm kind of a receiver? Oh, I can do that. You want me to hang out with the running backs? I can do that. He's a guy that just, I think, has a lot of different interests and a lot of different facets to his personality. We asked him,